Hi boys and girls, and welcome back to another art class. Today we're going to be using watercolor, but before we use watercolor on our mannequin projects that we started last time, I want everybody to practice. So what we're going to go ahead and do is you guys are going to watch my video and follow along. We are going to be painting these 4 dresses of these ballet dancers using watercolors. And watercolors can be tricky, so this is going to be good practice for us. When it's time to get your supplies, you should have 1 row of watercolors, a paper towel, and then a mixing paper. We're going to be mixing our colors on there. So we're practicing using what's called analogous colors, analogous. And that means colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So for example, if we look at our color wheel, red and orange are next to each other. Yellow and orange are next to each other. We're going to be painting our ballerinas today with analogous colors because they blend really well together, and I want to make sure that we know how to blend these. So if you're ready, we're going to go ahead, we're going to get started. First thing you're going to do is grab a pencil and put your name on the top. Once you've put your name, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with our first color. You can start with any color on the color wheel you want. So any color except for brown, black, tan, white, any other color is fine. I am going to go with a reddish color. So I put my brush into the water just a little bit. I don't need a lot. I'm going to go ahead, pick the color I want, and I'm going to load it up. You can count to 10 in your head. That's what I usually do. Okay, so now we're all set and we're all ready, and I'm going to start with the first ballet dancer, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint her dress carefully. Here I go. You don't need a lot, but once it starts to get light, you're going to load up your brush again. Okay, now that we're done, we're going to go ahead and wash our brush off. Dry it on the paper towel. Okay, and now we're going to choose the next color in the color wheel. Since I chose red at first, we're going to move on to an orange color. Now it's a good idea in practice for next week to try to blend these 2 colors. So to blend them, it's actually pretty easy. You're washing your brush off. You're going back to your first color, our red, and we can put a little bit right here on the orange. You don't need a lot of water. We're going to move our wrist in like a circular motion. I'll show you kind of like that when we paint. Okay, so that's something you can try if you want to. Just add a tiny bit of the color, place it down, and then move your wrist in a circular motion and bring it out, blend it without any water. Now let's continue. We're going to move on to our next color. I'm going to try to blend it. Okay, so at this point, I would be just about finished with my practice paper. You should have 4 analogous colors next to each other on the color wheel. Try not to use a lot of water. You'll notice I really didn't use that much. When you're done, make sure your name is on it, and we'll be all set for next week. Take your time. I'm looking forward to seeing what you make.